What's going on, YouTubers, ladies and gents? This is Mopar Man. I'm inside today, as you can already tell. I got my Menards team racing shirt on, and we got for the month of February. We get to wear this at work for the month, and then go back to our normal uniforms. Wish it had the checkered flags on it, like the decals that they have online. If you join a certain Menards racing team member, become a member or whatever, you get the decals and stuff. But anyway, show you that. This video is about the update on the carburetors I'm working on, the 1 barrel and the 2 barrel. So let me show you what's going on with this. So anyway, pretty much I had, like I said, I had this idea before the whole situation with Tony and David Vizard and Andy from Unity Motors. I was wanting to, doing a lot of research over the years myself, and just my mental state on wanting to improve on the flow and gain as much as I can of stock parts without spending a lot of money, unless I absolutely have to. And then their teachings and experience and knowledge and them working on this new project between the two channels just backs up my modifications for their findings through the flow bench and stuff like that. So like this right here is what they did on their carburetors. Was they completely, here's the 2 barrel, the same type of 2 barrel they're working on. They went ahead and removed the choke rod with plate, which this is here, and they gained some more CFM. But what they haven't done yet, that I would like to see them do, because I'm planning on doing it, is this lip right here, either cutting it down just enough to where you can leave the gasket on there, and cutting off the excess and smoothing out these sharp edges right here to allow flow to come in, especially this. And then these tabs here that basically hold up the this piece here is a lot of it's overkill, and I pretty much took my measurements, and you can have just enough down here to keep this from wobbling back and forth and stay in position without having all this extra meat on here. I'm going to cut a lot of that off, and any of the square or sharp edges are going to get smoothed out. But I'm going to, because this is going to be going on a fully functional vehicle, a daily driver, I'm going to keep the choke. But what I'm going to be doing is, which I already showed you here, let's see if I can focus in on this. There you go. I've pretty much took my Dremel motor tool with all my attachments, and I gave this a nice knife edge. This is going to be in the flow path, so the air is going to come down on this. So there's no restriction on this. It creates a nice flow, and on the sides. And then what I'm going to do is so anyway, the rod goes through here for the choke plate. The tops of the screws has a little ridge around the top. I'm going to smooth that off. And then the rod goes in here just from the inside here. I'm going to thin down the rod on each side, and then the part where the screw goes through the rod into the plate, there's a little circular flat indentation on each side that sinks down. Those sharp edges are going to get smoothed out as well. And then as you can see, I've already cleaned up all the unwanted excess metal in there, smoothed out the sharp edges or square edges. Got rid of a large square chunk that's in here on each side, and then I smoothed out this section here, and got that all done. Now with the 2 barrel part itself, I already knew to clean up all these sharp edges on all this stuff here, and I double checked to make sure the gaskets wasn't sticking out and didn't have any sharp edges sticking out in the airflow path. Cleaned up these here, thinned down the necks on the Venturi. I believe these are the Venturis. Thinned down the necks and smoothed everything out so there's good even flow. No sharp edges, no casting flash. Okay, that's what I'm doing so far for the 2-barrel. Now and then on the base plate of the 2-barrel, I got to bring these throttle plates up, and I'm going to smooth out those edges there, and double check this gasket, make sure it's not in the sticking out in the flow path and causing a lip to get in the way of the flow. Now finally onto the 1-barrel. I pretty much maxed out everything I can do inside here. Cleaned all that up, opened up the throat a little bit, smoothed this out. Okay, here's the top of the carburetor. I did this one already. I already got the knife edge going down the sides and across the top. Like I said, these nuts, let's see here. These nuts I don't have to worry about on this side, but on the back side it sticks out. The excess will be cut off, just like the ones over on the 2-barrel. David Vizard did that as well. Like I said, this extra support piece here is going to be getting cut off, and then I used a fiber gasket that came from the factory for this carburetor, and as you can see there's still a bit of a lip, so I have two options. I can either leave it as is and put epoxy all around in here and create a smooth transition that goes right into the throat of the carburetor, or for like pretty much no money, make another thin gasket. Let me get this popped off of here. Add another ring gasket that's made out of a thinner material, which will cause the air cleaner to come up level with the lip on the throat of the carburetor, so I don't need any epoxy or anything. And then I just smooth out this lip that goes all the way around here. So I think that's what I'm going to do instead of putting epoxy down in here, because Ed, Redbeard Racing's dad, Daniel's dad, suggested that I put like epoxy down there to get a smoother flow. And if I was to do that, I would take this out to my sandblaster and sandblast all around inside this lip and up around in here enough so that once you put the epoxy in there, it has something good to anchor to, and then you would just sand and smooth out so it's even flow. But anyway, I'm just going to go a little bit cheaper way, and so put that flat ring gasket on there and bring that housing up a little bit higher so it's level. Anyway, and then what I did is I also had to make sure that when this is pressed down, that the inner lip, here, I'll show you, this inner lip right here is tight up against the outer side of the carburetor, so there's no gaps for the air to press in there. Anyway, I got a little bit to do there still. Just give it a little tappy, taparoo. What I'm going to end up doing is, since I already got into talk to a K&N air filter rep one-on-one over the phone, put that bug in their ear. They jotted down the information. They're going to go over it with their tech people, and they haven't got back with me yet. I'm not going to hold my breath, but until I get word that they're going to work with me on this and maybe hopefully make a filter to fit these older air cleaners, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do everything I can for the carburetor itself, and then I'm just going to run Mr. Gasket, or here, get that reflection light off. Edelbrock 10-inch chrome air cleaner, or a Mr. Gasket 10-inch chrome air cleaner. And what I'll do is I'll just paint it flat black or semi-black, and preferably a Mr. Gasket because it won't have lettering on it. And if you do the 10-inch air cleaner with a K&N E1100 air filter, it fits perfect inside there, and it brings up a total of 3 inches, 2.5 to 3 inches on the sides. And what I'll do is I'll paint, like I said again, paint the air filter housing the black to try to make it look somewhat stock. And I'll run it like that until, like I said, if I ever get any confirmation that they're going to be getting with me to make a filter for these. So I'm getting the maximum airflow, and there were some people on the A-body groups on Facebook that were giving me crap about doing the work on these carburetors, saying you're not going to get crap, you're a waste of time, might as well just put a 4-barrel on it. And then they were telling me that it was a joke that I thought about even contacting K&N to even get a K&N air filter to put on these air cleaners, or make one, have one that fit on these air cleaners, or that the housings that running a K&N filter in general on any engine is a waste of time and money, and you're just going to end up destroying the engine. But I told him, I said in the comment section, I said, well, evidently you've never heard of David Vizard, and that he swears by them, and he uses them all the time, and he recommends them. So that just goes to back my post up about my stuff modifying the stock parts. Now what I'm waiting on is David Vizard and Andy from Unity Motorsports to get back with us on their channels, or one or both, about if they have to modify the jet. Now see, the jet on the 2-barrel is right down in there. You can see both of them, and the metering rod, or the metering rod. Now the 1-barrel it has a jet over here, but it also has where is it? Right here. You got to take that soft aluminum cap that plugs this off out, and in there screws an actual jet. So they might have to take something like, hold on a minute. Anyway, this is what I've been working on, guys. Also, if somebody's interested, I got an original manufactured by Carter heat choke. It's just a choke spring. Can't remember if it goes for a thermoquad or a 2-barrel 318 or whatever, or a Slant 6, but anyway, here it is. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more.